Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 15th of March, and it's episode 234. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Channeling my little bit of remembrance of Sesame Street. Just so you know. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, we have several people who have introduced themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Kim, who is Kim Hammy from Delaware. Donna, who is Mom to Prophets from Canada. Ada, who is the Zinka from Croatia. Stephanie, who is Steph Nimleb from Pennsylvania. And Jane, who is JC Stormy from Wisconsin.
Welcome. We're glad to have you guys. Thanks for introducing yourselves. So, Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you will get a shout out on our next episode and you will be able to participate in all our cows and giveaways.
Which we're announcing 2 winners today. And then we have another giveaway that continues through to next week. And then we have 2 new giveaways.
Ooh.
We're just going to give away all the things. Okay? Okay, well, we have a lot to talk about because of Edinburgh Yarn Festival. You can see our shelf. And we have a review as well. So we probably should just get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what's on your needles, Dammy?
I am still working on my Wonder Woman's socks. So I finished the first one.
Yay.
And I've started on the foot of the second one.
Yay.
This pattern is the French Vanilla Cappuccino Socks. Sure. And it's on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and the yarn is No Anchors House Gnome in the Wonder Woman colorway.
I love the faux stripes. They're just fabulous.
It's variegated.
I know, but it's like a faux stripe. Because, like, see, on here, can you see, like, it goes back and forth with the striping?
But it's not striping.
I know, but it's a faux stripe. That's why I keep saying it's a faux stripe.
Okay.
Faux, that means not really, but it looks like it.
No, it means fake. Okay, what is on your needles?
You don't have anything else on your needles?
No.
Are you going to start a sweater after you finish these?
No.
No, you're going to finish socks from the yarn you bought at EYF.
Yes.
I see. I see here. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. I'm supposed to talk now.
Yes. I
Okay.
asked you the question.
I know, but you didn't let me ask my questions first. I had very important questions. Okay, first up, I am continuing to knit on my 10 stitch zigzag blanket, which is a pattern by Frankie Brown. It's on US 4 3.5 mil needles, and the yarn I'm using right now is Knitting in France.
2 at a time socks.
Yes, in the You've Been Gilmore colorway. I have 1 zigzag left in this colorway. So I will be doing that tonight, and I'll be starting the next stripe, and it's green and kind of a purpley pink because St. Patrick's Day green, but I don't think I know what the yarn, like who the dyer is, but you'll see it next week. So I've got that, and then I'm continuing to work on my steampunk hot chocolate socks, which is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I'm in US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Pendia's Jewels hand dyed yarn snug in the hot cocoa with pink marshmallows colorway, and Rusty Ferret quadruple in the steampunk colorway. So here is the first one. So I'm making these into shorty socks, so they've got a rolled cuff with a contrast heel and toe. So there's one, and I have just finished the heel on the second one, so I only just need to knit the little bit on the leg, bind it off, and they will be ready to wear, well, after the ends are woven in and after I block them and all that. And I think the next socks I'm going to cast on is for the hub's birthday. So this is a West Yorkshire Spinners from their cocktail range. And I think I'm going to do contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs with the from the book Third Vault Yarns.
But,
Is that librarian base?
I think so.
In the Espresso Campana colorway, because I thought that would be kind of cool with the browns as the toes, heels, and cuffs. So that's next socks on the needle. Okay, the other thing I'm working on is my inner piece shawl, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. I'm on US Force 3.5 mil needles, and I am using Chandler Superwash BFL 4-ply in a purple and pink colorway. So I am making good progress. So I'm getting close to the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using
A donut.
a donut from my friend Jilly.
I want donuts.
That would be painful. But I'm really enjoying knitting on this, and it is very peaceful knitting, as the name implies. Peaceful. Inner peace. So, I am continuing to work on that, and it'll get done eventually. And that's everything that I have on my needles right now, because we were busy this last week, and so a lot of knitting did not get done. Only little bits of knitting. You would think, you know, you're going to be at a knitting festival, yarn festival. You would think you would get a lot of knitting done, but you don't. And then you get home and think you're going to knit in the evening as you're relaxing, and then your brain doesn't remember the pattern. I was trying to knit a zigzag on my blanket, and I kept screwing up. I had kept having to rip it back because my brain couldn't remember how to do it because it was so tired. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
Here it is. How epic is that pom-pom? This is my 11th preemie hat for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Will of the Andes Bulky in the Wallaby and Wine colorway. And Dammy does not approve of my amazing pom-pom. Isn't it amazing?
I'm not going to argue with you.
She said the pom-pom was going to be as big as the baby's head. But there is a perfect baby out there that is going to rock that pom-pom. Rock it.
You have to be gentle with the baby.
But there's the baby out there that wants to rock a pom-pom. Speaking of pom-poms, I was listening to the Knitmore Girls new episode this morning, and they were talking. So I had knit bumble hats for Genevieve and Rex some time ago, and with epic pom-poms, especially on Genevieve's. And Rex's hat was too small because he's growing, and so Genevieve let him borrow her bumble hat, and he did the total head bob thingy because the pom-pom is so big.
Wait, his head was bobbing because the pom-pom was so big?
He was like making the pom-pom go.
Oh.
You
Bobble?
know, like, bumble.
Bobble. Making the pom-pom bobble.
I know, but it was the bumble hat. I was confused. I thought you were trying to tell me the name of the hat was Bobble. Pom-poms for the win. And some baby out there is going to rock this pom-pom. That's everything I finished. Because, like I just said, it was a crazy week. Which we're going to tell you about right now. And now it is time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies! What are yummies, Demi?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. And this episode is yummy-tastic. So, Edinburgh Yarn Festival. It was just a little event we were participating in. Craziness. So, we set up for Edinburgh Yarn Festival. We set up our booth on Thursday. And there's going to be some photos and video that I'm going to put in maybe as soon as I finish talking here. So you can see kind of. And then the show was Friday and Saturday. Friday night, a couple of friends came over, Jenny and Zoe, and we had dinner together, which meant I ordered pizza and bought cookies from the store because, hello, nobody was wanting to cook after that. And I'm really glad we didn't go to a restaurant because EYF had been so loud and everything, and I don't know if I could have handled another crowd. We needed just a quiet night, which was good. And then Saturday night, I went out to dinner with some friends, including Allie and Rachel from the Yarn in the City podcast and Great London Yarn Crawl and Yarn Emporium. They're like all the yarn things. And there was quite a few other people there as well. We had a really good time. The show went really well. We completely sold out of both physical books.
Mm-hmm.
I've just done another small print run. So if you did not get the brand new book and want a copy, if you want to email me and I can notify you as soon as I put them up on the website. What else was I going to say? Yeah, the show went really, really well. We had such a good time. There were so many lovely people that came up and said hello and gave us hugs and chatted with us. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. What did you think?
It was fun.
It was fun. Friday was insanity. There were so many people there. You like could not move. It was so crowded. And then Saturday was a little, I mean, it was still really busy, but it was not as like manic as it was on Friday. Okay, so we got some things. We got gifted some things. We're going to show you some things. Okay. So first up, I was allowed to buy one skein of yarn from the whole show.
Come apart.
I was allowed to buy one skein of yarn. And it was a very, very difficult choice because there were so many amazing skeins of yarn. But what I ended up going with is a skein from La Bien Amie, which is hand-dyed in Paris. This is her merino twist sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon high twist in the Romance colorway.
It's pink.
Oh my god, it's got purple and cream and like a peach and brown and a dark purple. Did I already say purple?
Mm-hmm.
And pink. How stunning is this? And I get up to the thing to pay her, and I was like, I was just telling her, I should say why I'm only allowed one skein of yarn. So as you probably know, the Hubs is finishing up his PhD, and he'll be finished hopefully this summer, which means our visas are going to expire. And so if he does not have a job here in the UK, we'll have to leave because our visas will have expired. He is looking for a job both here and in the US, and wherever we end up is going to be amazing. But because of that, I was only allowed to buy one skein of yarn because, yeah, just the whole moving situation. And I already have so much yarn. So anyway, I got up to tell her and to pay, and I was like telling her, I was allowed one skein of yarn, and this is one I chose, and I was like, and I'm going to talk about it on our podcast. And she was like, oh yes, I know, I watch your podcast. And I totally like freaked out, fangirled, and was like, oh my gosh, she watches our podcast. Look, I don't know that I even noticed the speckles. Look at those speckles. This is going to be amazing. And it's so soft. You want to squish it?
I already have.
It's so soft. Oh my gosh. So this is my skein of yarn from EYF. Okay. I had seen so the lovely Joe and Mika, who did an amazing job at EYF, they're the co-hosts of it. They had, in the weeks prior to EYF, been doing... it's not highlights. I was going to say sneak peeks, but that's not right. Highlights of the different vendors. And they posted these wooden badges. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, I got to have one of those. So this is from Beyond Measure UK. And it is a maker badge with knitting needles. And it's wood. And they also had ones with like crochet hooks, with sewing machines. I think they had one with scissors. So they had lots of different options. And all the things that we're talking about today, If you go to our show notes at,
geekygirlsknit.com.
they'll all be linked so that you can find out the info and maybe get one of your own. My sweet friend Jolie from Jolie Creates gifted me this cat hat badge. It's sparkly, which was made by Yarnistry. Isn't that fabulous? It's sparkly. Ooh, there you can see the sparkle. Sparkles. And I've ordered one for you. Yarnistry vended at our retreat in November. They're the ones that did the really cool
3D printed.
Yeah, the 3D printing thing, but they're the little tags that you can put on interchangeable needle tips so you know what size they are without having to do the whole, what is it? I can't read it. So they made these and they're awesome and I'm really excited. So thank you to my sweet friend Jolie for that. Okay, we also got one for me and one for Dammy of the Roar Cat Hat, their decals. I love the different colors. There's like really cool, lots of colors. These are by Symposi Press, which is based in the U.S., but one of the vendors had gotten them to sell over here. And they also have bigger ones. We got the small ones. I can't remember how big the bigger ones were. Maybe about an inch and a half bigger. So we each got a Roar decal. Okay, we picked up, some of these are for gifts for friends, but we picked up some badges, which in the US you call them pens or buttons, but in the UK they're called badges, from the Knitting Goddess. So let me just show you. So many yarns, so little time. Knitting to stay sane, which I just dropped. Knit happens. There's another so many yarns, so little time. Must knit faster so I can buy more yarn. I buy wool so the sheep don't get too hot. And armed with pointy sticks. Those are epic. Help us remember there's one down there so we don't step on it. Okay, what's next? The lovely Fibrary that we did a giveaway of one of her project bags, and we reviewed it. We reviewed her interchangeable needle bag, and you had a project bag, and Tammy got another one. She'll tell you in a minute. But she made these fabulous journals. They're vegan leather. I love.
I guess I'll show mine too if I can find it.
It's somewhere.
There you go.
I love the stitching on the edge, and it's grid paper. You can't really see this.
You can only see it when you tilt it right.
Yeah, it's got names of.
I think it's names of like quilting appliques. If that's not right, Kate, tell me.
Because it says like, oh gosh, I can't.
Sunbonnet Sue, Mariner's Compass, Bear's Paw, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is. And now what yours is gray with the rainbow on the edge.
You're dropping things.
I'm dropping things, guys. So thanks so much to Kate for those. It was lovely to see her. I got some cards from Tilly Flop. These are fabulous. Some of them are to be sent as gifts. So there's one that's just got knitting stitches. Casting on means you believe in tomorrow.
And probably next year.
And probably next year too.
What does that mean? Oh, you believe in tomorrow and next year?
Because it means that
It'll take a long time.
Well, you'll have faith that you'll be able to continue working on it. It's not just casting on and then you're never going to be able to work on it again. You and a great big ball of yarn make me happy. See it right there. I only stopped knitting long enough to send you this card. And this one is the one that we actually have the print of back here. It's the in, over, out, off, in, over, in, that, in through the bunny hole, round the big tree. Jack goes in, puts on his scarf, comes back out and takes it off. In the front door, round the back, out the window, and off comes Jack. Under the fence catch the sheep, back you go, off you leap.
Fish.
Yes.
That's
So
all too.
it repeats. And it's so cute. So her stuff is so awesome. You should definitely check out Tilly Flop. Okay, EYF would not be complete if I did not get something from the fantastic, is it Aileen? I think it's Aileen Clark Crafts, if I'm saying it wrong, because I wanted to say Eileen, but then Dammy made me question myself because she said, isn't it Aileen? And I don't know. You should definitely check her out. She does needle felting, and y'all might remember that the first year we were at EYF, I bought this beautiful oval brooch with a needle felted scene on it that's got little sheep, and it's so adorable. And then last year I got a zipper pouch that was, she had like done the needle felting and then it was like screen printed on, and that's what I actually have my interchangeable needle cords in to keep them all organized. This year I was like, what am I gonna get? She has these beautiful pillows like for your sofa, but again, if we're moving back to the US, whole thing. So instead, after much debate, I don't know how much time I spent at her booth going, what do I want? What do I want? This is what I got. And you're not even getting like the full, because it just sparkles and gleams. It's so fabulous. And it is adjustable. I tend to not like adjustable rings because they usually have like a very squared off thing on each of them, and then they end up digging in my finger and everything. But these are rounded, and so I've worn it for like an entire day of EYF, and it was fine. Isn't it beautiful? She also has lovely journals and mugs and coasters and wall hangings, jewelry boxes, necklaces, earrings, brooches. You should definitely check her out. And tell her, if you buy something, tell her Cece sent you. Because I'm going to enable everyone, okay? And then the last thing I got was actually a gift from Evan O'Keefe. This is her Bake, Knit, Sew book. And we had such a lovely conversation about being moms and expats and owning our own businesses and things like that. It is. She was so lovely. She lives in Ireland.
White chocolate cheesecake.
I know.
What's
Is it? I can never pronounce right.
mascarpone?
Mascarpone?
Pone? Buttery cheddar biscuits. I like that.
So this
Monster cookies.
this book is set out like where you get a recipe and then a pattern, and it's knitting or sewing patterns. We are going to actually give this a proper look through and everything.
Good.
I know they do. And review it next week on the podcast. Here she is. She's so lovely. And she let me hold her little baby, and he was adorable, and he loved my ring, and we just had
Tried to eat it.
He did. We had a good conversation, and he was just so adorable. And then we tried to take a picture. He turned his head. But, so thank you so much to Evan. And like I said, we're going to review this on next week's podcast episode because it's so amazing. It deserves its own proper timing. Dammy, what did you get?
Okay. Well, I didn't buy this from any of the vendors at EYF, but it was bought in the space of EYF. So it was bought at EYF. So Kate Lillerina, Fibrary, made me an Anatole bag, and I bought it.
So explain to us why this is an Anatole bag.
Okay, well, Anatole is from Great Comet or War and Peace, or both,
Okay.
whatever you like. And so I had a little bit of a conversation with her about color inspiration, and she said she was thinking maroon, because like something rich and dark and also kind of sinister. And I said, yes, that's good. Off-Broadway, he had a burgundy tailcoat that he wears in the second act.
Okay.
But then for Broadway, they changed it to green, because green is like a signifier of like sickness and Helene, who is his sister, her outfits are also green, so it visually ties him to her too. So it's burgundy and green.
And what's on the burgundy fabric?
Flowers.
Okay. And then what is inside?
I can't really get it inside out, but it's the same fabric that's on the inside of your notebook.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And you like it?
Yes, I do.
You immediately put your project in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also got the journal that you showed, and then
Yes.
you bought some yarn.
Yes. I think I've bought something from Easy Knits every year.
You like Easy Knits.
Yes, so this is Easy Knits Deeply Wicked Plus base.
Okay.
It's sock yarn. The colorway is Neon Night.
Yum.
I'm gonna make some socks with it.
I love like how it turns into kind of that greeny gray and brown there. Can you show them? I don't know if you can see that very well. It's so pretty.
Yep.
Yay, yay. And we each got one of these. Now, let me tell you about this. So EYF posted on their Instagram a few days before that they had these tote bags that you could embroider. And I was like, damn me, we must get these. And so we got them like first thing Friday morning. And it's a good thing we did because they sold out within like a few hours. But if you're interested in buying one, go to the link in the show notes because they are trying to assess how much interest there is about doing another print run of them.
Print run. Can you do a print run of a bag?
Another printing of. Look, it's a yarn ball, but it's all different embroidery techniques. So I'm going to embroider mine and then turn it into a sofa pillow. Pillow. Because but I'm going to have to figure out, I don't know how to do that one.
You can look at the picture that they posted of it.
Yeah. The rest of them I think I know how to do. It's going to be pink, just in case you were curious. So if you're interested in getting one of those.
All pink, not all different colors?
I don't know, mostly pink. So if you're interested in getting one of those, go over to their Ravelry group and express your interest. And then we also were gifted Perth Festival of Yarn 2016 tote bags. And that's everything. Golly, geez. It's a lot of stuff.
We talked for 20 minutes.
About
And we're not even done.
Oh, did I even stop and put in the pictures?
No.
Well, why don't we first talk about thank you to everyone who participated in GGK EYF Fun, which was a part of our GGK Crafty Pad, which is our Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We had 2 prize winners, and their Instagram names are Mariposa_knits and Gemma Bell Knits. And they've both contacted me, and I will be shipping out. One of the prizes was digital, so I took care of that already, I believe. I need to double check. And the other is going to be posted out at the end of the week when I'm out and about because EYF wore me out. I don't know if you can tell, I'm not feeling great today. You know, I'm really excited about everything. I think I just got so run down just with everything that was going on that my immune system just was like, you're going to be sick now. So I'm fighting it. Okay, let's stop and put in the photos. And I did the video thing. What's it called? Where it like makes it go really fast.
Time lapse?
I did a time lapse video of EYF. So if you get motion sick, you might not want to watch that a little bit because I move. It made it look like I was moving extremely fast. So let's stop and put that in. So EYF, thumbs up. We met lots of lovely people. It was so fun to meet, especially Kristen from the Vine Yarns, from the Yarngasm podcast, who, and as well as there was so many others, but that was an especially fun one for me because my sweet friend Jilly loves Vine so much, and so I made sure that Kristen and I got a picture together to send to Jilly, and she loved it. So that was a lot of fun. But we met so many amazing people, or got to see them again. You know what I mean? There were people we already knew. So okay, on Monday, the post came, and it was a very good post day. Because I opened this envelope. I knew something was coming, but I didn't know what it was. I opened this envelope, and you probably could hear me screaming in the US because I was freaking out, so excited. Oh my gosh. And I know this is going to give y'all the earworm again, but you'll have to deal with it. This was a gift from my sweet friend Julia, who is Nimrus on Ravelry of Pandia's Jewels. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready? Pink fluffy unicorn dancing on rainbows. They should have a rainbow over it. That'd be cool. Pink fluffy unicorn. Oh my gosh, it's a pink fluffy unicorn. And there's two, because we're going to give one away. So stay tuned for later in the podcast. But oh my gosh, pink fluffy unicorn is going on my wall. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, pink fluffy unicorn. Damn, he wasn't as excited as I was. Neither was the hubs. They appreciated the work that went into it. But pink fluffy unicorns, that's all Cece. Cece loves pink fluffy unicorns. And I might have some of the pink fluffy unicorn yarn on the way to me. I'll tell you more about that later. So thank you so much, Julia. And like I said, we're going to do a giveaway later in the episode. We also had some goodies come in from Sarah, who is Little Angel SG2. She sent a prize for the spring cow, which we'll show y'all in a little bit. But look at this sweet card with books on it. She made us keychains. So mine says Java Pearl on one side and Geeky Girls on the other side. Dammy says Dammy and Geeky Girls. And she also made us coasters with flowers on one side and Java Pearl and Dammy on the other side. So those are cool. And we will show you the prizes she sent for the spring cowl, like I said, later in the episode. But thank you so much, Sarah, for a lovely, lovely, lovely gift. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
All right, well then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
And this month's theme is colors, so it's been a lot of fun finding stuff that is the thusly named color for the day and posting photos of it. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those were the photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. Just take a look at the prompt for the day. Today, Wednesday, it's pastel. You take a photo interpreting that prompt however you wish. Make sure in the caption when you post it on Instagram, you include hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photos, and yours might get chosen. Dammy, right now we don't have any upcoming events.
Ooh.
So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll have something coming up soon. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading and watching.
So what are you reading?
I'm still reading Les Mis by Victor Hugo, but I am planning, hopefully, to have it finished by next week. Okay, maybe. So,
Do you know what is going to be next after that?
Anne of Green Gables. And you knew this already.
I forgot. Oh my gosh.
Maybe not like the whole series at once, but okay.
Well, the mini series that you've watched with me, are based on the first 3 books. So Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, and Anne of the Island. So those 3 books are fitted into 2 miniseries. Just in case you missed that episode or those multiple episodes where I've raved about it, because Jonathan Crombie will always be my Gilbert and Megan Follows will always be my Anne. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you reading?
All right. Well, nonfiction wise, I'm still reading You Are Free by Rebecca Lyons. I didn't get much read of that this week just because of the craziness of EYF. I got to read another chapter in Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness that I'm doing with the read along companion, because you're reading it in real time. And so it had been like 4 or 5 weeks since I'd gotten to read a chapter. And then now I think I have to wait another like week and a half or so. I read a lot of fiction this week because that's just how things go. And I've tried to take a few days off this week. And so I've done quite a bit of reading in the bathtub. Does anybody else do that? Do you take a book into the bathtub with you? Except for mine was my iPad. And it was fine until Monday when I started dozing off and thought I was going to drop my iPad in the water. So I put it out of the water. Because
Danger around every corner.
That's right. Okay, so I read A Throne of Fire, which is the 40th, yes, 40 book in the A Shade of Vampire series by Bella Forrest. That was on Kindle Unlimited. I read Hisses and Honey, which was I believe it was the final book of course it's a trilogy, in the Venom trilogy by Shannon Mayer. That was another Kindle Unlimited one. These are all in the fantasy world. All the nonfiction that I read, fiction I read this week. Nonfiction in the fantasy world. I read His Majesty's Dragon, which is the first book in the Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. One of y'all, I can't remember who had recommended this series to me, and I don't know if it still is, but the book was up for only $1.99 for your Kindle. I've got the rest of them on my wish list because some of them are a little more than I prefer to pay. So I just go in and check every day and see if there's a sale. Or I'll if I get a gift card or something, I'll buy them. And then I'm reading the Study series by Maria V. Snyder, which was another one of y'all recommended. I read the first book and short story number 1, and now I'm reading book 2. I'm really enjoying it. It's about this woman who is arrested for murder, and she has the choice of either being hanged or being the food taster for the commander of this country. She used to taste all his food and drink to see if there's poison in it.
When is this set?
I don't know. Not modern day.
I was gonna say.
I don't know what time period, but it's not modern day. But there's this whole thing about magic and how in one part of the kingdom, anyone that shows any magic is executed, etc. So I'm reading that. You look like Toucan Sam. So I am reading that series and enjoying it. Okay, TV-wise. I am rewatching season 3 of Matlock.
There was a two-parter.
There was a two-parter. Oh, but another one of the episodes I watched yesterday was it was totally the movie Double Jeopardy.
What is that movie?
That movie is when, I'm trying to remember if it was man or woman. Anyway, one part of a couple faked their death and the other person was sent to prison for murder. And then they got out of prison and found out that the person was still alive. and somebody killed that person, and then they tried them again. So it was this double jeopardy because you're not supposed to be able to be charged with the same crime twice. I don't remember when that movie came out.
Okay.
It's a really good movie.
No, don't look it up right now.
I'm gonna look it up right now because you're gonna talk about the next thing.
I don't know what the next thing is.
The next thing is Eureka.
We are watching season 2 of Eureka.
I think so. Yes, season 2.
It's a really good movie. It's rated 6.4 stars out of 10.
It's from 1999. It's as old as you are.
It's a remake of a 1955 movie.
Oh, I don't know if I realized that. Come on, show us the cast. Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd.
Okay.
And Bruce Greenwood. It's a good movie. I should force you to watch it with me. It really is really pretty good. Anyway, there was a whole Matlock episode that was essentially the movie Double Jeopardy.
But before the 99 one came out.
So it might have been influenced by the 1950 whatever one.
5.
So Eureka, do you have anything you want to say about Eureka?
No.
I'm trying to think, was this the... We talked about him going back in time, or changing time last week, didn't we?
I think so.
Okay. Hubs and I are also watching season 4 of Lost. In fact, we have watched the first and second part of the 3-part season 4 finale. We watched those last night, and it's like, I think we're about to see the Oceanic 6 get off the island.
Ooh, how does that happen?
I don't remember. But in the helicopter, because Sawyer jumped out over the ocean because there was a bullet hole in the fuel tank and they were losing fuel and they needed to get rid of some weight, and so he jumped to help them get the rest away to the freighter, thinking that they would rescue him later. But the Oceanic 6 are Jack, Kate, Saeed, Hurley, baby Aaron, and Son. And the first 4 are on the helicopter now. And Aaron and Son are on the freighter where the helicopter is about to land.
So what happens to everyone else?
They are on the island and they have to lie about them being alive. They have to lie and say they're dead.
Why?
Because otherwise people would be flocking to the island wanting it to perform miracles.
Mm.
So they've got to protect the island. And now Jack is like, we have to go back, Kate. And all that stuff. Okay. I'm watching series 3 of Broadchurch. And the case continues. That's all I really have to say about it. I watched 2 episodes of it because I watched last week's and then yesterday I watched this week's. So yeah, the case is continuing and they're trying to figure out who did it. All right, your turn.
We are watching season 2 of Supergirl. Last week's episode had Terry Hatcher and Kevin Sorbo in it.
Which Terry Hatcher is from Lois and Clark, and Kevin Sorbo is Hercules from the old show.
The long-haired one.
Yes. And we don't know who they are. Their names have not been said, and it's on IMDb. It's just that they're in it. There's no names. So you said you thought they are
Manel's parents.
We'll have to see. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Oh my freaking gosh. NCIS season 14. All the exclamation points. There was a body under McGee's bed, and thusly under Tony's bed, because Tony had the apartment before McGee did. And there was a body, like that mummified underneath the floor.
But they didn't know about it.
But still, there was a dead body under the bed.
It's not like the body's gonna come back to life and get him.
It's creepy. Would you like to have a dead body under your bed?
Well, if I didn't know about it...
Who are you?
If I knew there was a dead body under my bed, I wouldn't want it there. But if I didn't know it was there... I could live in blissful ignorance.
There was a body under the bed.
Do you think there's a body under your bed?
I'm scared now. I'm like, I don't know if I can sleep ever again because there might be a body under the
You
bed.
watched this episode a week ago.
I know, but I keep thinking there might be a body under the bed.
It's not going to come back to life and get you.
There was a spider under the bed the other day.
Oh.
And it was very, very,
Fast.
very fast and very scary. And I was like, Papa, come get this spider! Because I was like afraid it was going to get me.
It was on the floor and you were on the bed.
It could climb. Don't you know spiders can climb?
But I'm pretty sure there was quite a large distance from the floor to the edge of the comforter.
It was fast as lightning. It could have gotten up on the bed. He had to move the bed to get to it because it was so fast.
Okay.
Body under the bed. Gibbs, though, in his kind and generous spirit, is helping McGee repair the floor.
Where the body was.
After making sure there was no more bodies under the floor.
Okay, what's next?
NCIS New Orleans Season 3, we had an old love of Pride's. It's what she was like a big part of it. And apparently last night there was 2 episodes on.
Ooh.
So we'll just have to wait on the finale, the final episode of Season 4 of Lost until tomorrow.
Ooh.
Okay, why don't you talk about the next couple of things?
Okay, we're watching Season 12 of Bones, the final season. Stephen Fry is back. He was in this before, like 7 years ago, and I remembered. You forgot about Zach too, and I remembered. I guess I'm like encyclopedia of the early years of Bones.
Apparently.
And Demolition Derby, which is apparently the pinnacle of American culture.
In what
According
reality?
to Mr. Stephen Fry's character.
In what reality is Demolition Derby the pinnacle of American culture? Just saying.
And we're watching Season 2 of Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. You wrote this.
I did. I said it's a new season, new missing people, and this week it was about a cult. Then they kidnapped all the women to try to start a new world order. Okay. The hubs and I are watching Big Bang Theory Season 10, and it was all about Raj needing a new place to live because he couldn't afford his apartment anymore, because that whole thing that I talked about. Okay. Season 12 of Supernatural. So now, Dean has agreed to work with the British Men of Letters because Sam wants him to and thinks it's the right thing to do. And in other breaking news, Castiel is now working with Heaven again and just went through the portal to go to Heaven. The portal in the kids' sandbox on the playground.
Why didn't he just sprout his angel wings and fly back to heaven?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's probably not the right word.
Sprout.
Sprout.
Sprout some wings.
Sprout. It just makes me think of plants.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sprouting my wings.
We are watching the Blacklist Redemption. So Tom's mother found out that her son is alive, but she doesn't know that it's him, Tom. And Tom's father, Terry O'Quinn,
From Lost.
thinks his mother is a sleeper agent. Tom's mother.
I know this gets all very confusing. We could role play it for them, but
No.
yeah. Okay, you want to talk about the next one or you want me to?
You can.
Why don't you, because then I'm going to talk about the next 2 after that.
Colony. We're watching season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Will and his family had to go underground, and someone from outside the colony came in to get the alien tech from Broussard, which can help them win the real war. What does that mean?
What is the real war? We don't know. That's what the guy told him. He said, or was it, no, it was just she, wasn't it?
Yes.
She said, I need the alien tech that you found because it can help us win the real war. What is the real war? We don't know because we still haven't even seen the aliens.
Maybe they don't exist.
I think that's what's happened. But then how did the walls come up overnight? Magic. Okay, Grimm season 6. Renard wants to see the tunnel. And Eve went through the portal in the mirror.
Why?
Because she feels like this is something she has to do to deal with it, or else the creature is going to constantly be trying to get her to pull her through the mirror.
Okay.
Okay, NCISLA season 8. Did Hetty tell them what Granger said? Because there was like no reference to Granger or the note
Maybe
or him leaving in this episode.
they film episodes out of order. There's a shooting order and then there's an airing order. And so they might have had to rewrite stuff for that after they had filmed that episode that you watched.
Yeah, because I was like, because last week, we had the very symbolic thing with Hetty reading the note and then the in memory screen, but then this week there was no mention at all of Granger, and so that just kind of made me go, wait, what? Yeah, so, all right, why don't you talk about the next thing?
We are watching season 5 of Elementary. And so Sherlock and Joan are now Archie's, who is Kitty's son, godparents.
That was very sweet. Very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we watched the series 6 finale of Call the Midwife. Trixie met Christopher's daughter, and it went very, very well. Tom and Barbara got married. How much did you love her wedding dress?
Yes.
With the thing over the cape over. It was stunning. Loved it. And Dr. Turner and Sheila had a baby boy. It was so sweet. And when they were singing through the door,
You were crying.
I was crying.
She was crying.
I was like over there just like sobbing. And Patsy came home. And Tom got the carousel for Barbara as a wedding gift to have this experience. And they were all on it. And it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful way to end Series 6. And I don't know if Series 7 has been, ordered. Confirmed. I don't know. I hope so. And then finally, the Hubs and I are watching season 10 of Murdoch Mysteries, and it was a whole roller derby episode.
Didn't know roller derby existed then.
It didn't really. They called it roller racing or something like that. But you could totally see the roller derby influence in it. Oh, and I didn't write this down, but what's the Crabtree and this girl that he's dating now, this newspaper girl, she said not very nice things about Murdoch and his wife, Julia.
You could have
And
just said the Murdochs.
about the Murdochs. And I was like, wait, what? No, this is not cool. They were being very kind to you. They invited you over for dinner, and you left and said very ugly things about them, and that is not cool. And so Crabtree, I think you should dump her.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there. This is my opinion. Dump her.
Okay.
Dump her.
He is dead now, if he ever existed. Okay.
Dump her.
Okay. We're done talking about TV.
Yes. Let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Cow.
Yes, this started on the 1st of March and runs through the 31st of May. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince this is related to spring.
What?
Your fallback is.
You made it in the spring.
That's right. No whips are allowed. Your project had to have been begun March 1st or later and has to be done by the end of May. Feel free to poly dip in other cows as long as it fits with the other rules. We have some new prizes today. So we have from Sarah, Little Angel SG2, we have this cute key ring in our favorite colors with a beautiful flower on it. We have a zipper pull that's the same colors with a sheep. And we have this necklace with 2 removable stitch markers on it. We also have a project bag, a spring-themed project bag from Stitching Plaza on Etsy, and a set of inspirational prize keepers from Stitching Plaza on Etsy. And here is a collage of all the prizes. And thank you so much to our donors for giving those, for providing those prizes. If you'd like to know more about the prizes, you can go to our website,
geekygirlsknit.com,
and see photos and links to everything there, or tune in to the first podcast of every month when we talk about them in detail. Every project you finish and post in the FO thread counts as one entry into the giveaways. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls podcast group on Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. The hashtag is GGKSS17. We'll lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of June and draw winners on the podcast after that. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you're a winner or you forfeit it. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry to support each other and encourage each other on. And now, Dammy, why don't you give shout outs to those who finished projects this week?
Okay. DG White, Ditzy Mermaid, Fun Friend, Gracielas, Ingard Stoka, JP Music 15, Katie Did What 1, Knit Central, Knit Princess 83, Lil Angel SG2, Lil Arena, Ladette, Looney Hiker, Lucy J. Will, Mystery Sewer, Rainbow Ange, S. Keeling, Skyly Knits, VVFB, and Yarn Taxi Driver.
Great job, everybody. So keep working on those projects and get them posted. Let's talk about our other Cal.
Now we're going to talk about our For the Love of Socks Cal.
Yes, so this started the 1st of February and it runs through the end of this month, the 31st, which is a little over 2 weeks from today. It's for any finished sock project. The project must include 2 socks, aka a pair of socks, to be eligible. All of the details about the points are in podcast episode number 227 at the 40-minute, 28-second mark. There's a link to that in the show notes. There's no need for us to rehash all the points. You can also look at the second post in the FO thread for details about how to post. Feel free to poly dip in other cows. That's totally fine. We've got lots of lovely prizes, which are on the screen right now. If you'd like to see those in detail, go to
geekygirlsknit.com.
or tune into the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail. Thank you so much to our sponsors. You are amazing. Every point you earn is going to be one entry into the prize giveaways. There's going to be a grand prize for the person with the highest number of points, a second grand prize for the person who knits the highest amount of yardage, and the remainder of the prizes will be chosen using a random number generator. You can only win 1 prize per person. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. You have 1 post in the FO thread that you then edit. If you have any questions after watching that episode where we talk about the points and looking at the example in the FO thread, you can PM Dammy.
Dammy's Doodles.
And she'll be glad to help you get it figured out. You're responsible for updating your FO post. We will not be going in and adding up all the points. So if you miss some points, that's on you, because we're not going to check them all because that would take forever. The hashtag is GGK Love of Socks Cal. We'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of April and draw winners on the next podcast after that. And you'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you're a winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, part of our show you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right. So we each have a part of the question. We each have a question to answer today, but they're from the same person.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us who it is and ask me the question, my question, and then I'll ask you your question.
Okay. Ruth, I'm Ruth Z from California.
Hi, Ruth.
Cece, who first taught you to knit and what was your first project? I noticed that you knit your socks using magic loop. I want to try sock knitting. Is that the best way?
Okay. Who taught me to knit? A kit from a big box store.
You don't want to mention the one?
A kit from a big box store that had this booklet in it and straight knitting needles and some like...
A little bit of yarn?
No, there was no yarn in it. Some like little accessories,
Kind of
notions,
accessories.
some notions things. And so I'm pretty sure my first project was either like a scarf. I think it was a scarf.
You said you knew.
It's not in Ravelry.
Oh.
It was either a scarf or a dishcloth or something like that. And some of my very first projects were like Afghans knit with like 3 or 4 skeins of yarn at the same time held together. Hats, those kind of things. That was some of my first stuff. Okay. Magic loop is how I knit almost everything. Unless it's, yeah, in the round. If it's flat, obviously. I still use a circular knitting needle, but it's knit flat. With socks, I did knit the magic loop for a very long time. Now, I use magic loop only for the toe because I use the 9-inch circulars to knit socks. So I cannot do the toe on these because there's not enough stitches when you start. So I cast on and do the toe magic loop, and then I put them over onto these 9-inch circulars, and that's how I knit them. There is no best way to knit. You have to do what works for you. In fact, I'm like going to purloin from the Knit More Girls because they had a question in their new episode about what's the best way to knit from like a cake of yarn, whether you should knit from inside or outside. And they came down to saying you have to do whatever works the best for you. And that's the right way for you. But there doesn't need to be knitting police coming up to people and saying, you're doing that wrong, because that's not cool. The knitting community is supposed to be of love and caring and kindness. So, I'm just throwing that in there from the Knit More Girls because they are very wise women.
But you prefer
my
knitting your
preference.
socks.
My preference is the 9-inch circulars because I just zoom around in circles. Okay, did I answer all the questions?
I think so.
Okay, Dammy. I'm guessing your mom taught you to knit, but what was your first project? Magic loop for you too?
Yes, you are right. My mother did teach me how to knit.
You didn't use a big box store knit.
No. I didn't know those existed.
You did. You saw me using it.
I don't remember. My first projects were... Do not go... Stop!
They're so adorable.
Do not say anything, please. Were, like... Stop!
I'm not saying anything.
Don't say anything. They were bookmarks that took me like 2 years each to make. And they were like very simple, like just garter stitch, and my gauge is so off on them, I don't even own them anymore.
They were adorable.
Chill, please. Oh my gosh. But yes, those were my first projects.
You also knit a magic wand.
Yes, it's an UGG. I consider my... Wow, lots of my early stuff is UGGs. I guess my first official project I consider to be somewhat good was a Harry Potter scarf I knit. It was knit with red heart, but it was still okay and my gauge wasn't bad on it. So yeah, but I knit good stuff now. Good stuff.
And now talking
This
about...
is such a drastic change. That needs a picture.
You need to talk about magic loop for you too, question mark?
Yes, I prefer knitting socks using magic loop. I used to do them 2 at a time, but I don't really do that anymore. But yes, I prefer magic loop. I tried a couple of times knitting on the 9-inch circulars, but the needles are just too tiny. But see, I say that now, and then I'm gonna like love it.
Well,
later.
I think you should try these, the asymmetrical ones, and see what you think.
Okay, so yeah. We're not gonna talk during this, are we?
Well, I'm just watching you.
You can watch me later, but yeah, we answered the question.
And so what if somebody has a question for us? What should they do? Well, first, Ruth, thank you for asking your questions. I hope we answered them sufficiently. No pressure on you at all to like knit using my 9-inch circulars.
It's too tiny.
You just have to get used to them. Well, you have to like you're just working like the ends of the needles instead of it being a bigger movement.
I hold them weird. Okay, if you have a question for us, you can go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
And then we'll answer it as quickly as possible. All right, we have a big review / giveaway section coming up. So let's take a break right quick and we'll be right back.
And now we have several giveaways and a review.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So a couple weeks ago, we announced our Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2 giveaway, and we locked the thread before we started recording today, and we have prize winners to announce. So the first winner is going to win an ebook copy of our new book, or if they already own it, we can either gift it to a friend of their choosing or give them a coupon code for $16 worth of patterns from our Ravelry store. And Dammy, who is the winner of this prize?
Post number 50, Mama C.
Mama C. I need you to PM me Java Pearl on Ravelry, and I will gift. Tell me what you want. Tell me whether you want that ebook, if you want us to give it to a friend, or if you need the $16 coupon code. The other prize is one of our brand new drawstring project bags that say me plus Dammy and CC plus coffee plus knitting equals yummies, with a beautiful coffee mug that Dammy drew. Dammy, who is the winner of this project bag?
Post number 42, Gothica 101.
Congratulations, Gothica 101. Please send me your full name and mailing address. I think I have it somewhere, but it'll just be easier for me if you send it to me. So send me your full name and mailing address, and I will get that out in the post to you. And thanks to everyone who entered. Okay, a reminder that last week we reviewed A Garden of Shawls by Karen. It's not Woolley. She sent me an email about this. Hooley? I think it's Hooley.
Hooley.
I'm probably still saying it wrong. I told her in an email this morning, I was like, but Woolley is so cool. So what a lovely mispronunciation. So we're giving away an ebook copy of her crochet pattern book. It's 12 crocheted shawls. This giveaway is open until we record next week's episode
235.
35.
This is 234.
Oh, goodness. I need to make sure I change that in the show notes because I think I wrote the wrong thing in all the show notes.
Yeah, and down there in the filament.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. But remind me to change it in the show notes that I've already done on the website. Because I think I wrote the wrong thing on all of them as well. So make sure to go to our Ravelry group and enter. Now, as we mentioned in Yummies, Julia sent us 2 pink fluffy unicorns. So we're going to give away one of them. So if you go to...
It's a card, yes?
It's an art print.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a print. It's going to hang on. The other one's going to hang on my wall. So there is a thread in the Ravelry group to enter to win. And we'll be giving away one of these. But I did want to tell you that Julia is doing a pre-order for her pink fluffy llamacorn yarn because she draws a lot of llamacorns. This is a unicorn, but she draws llamacorns. But the colorway was inspired by the pink fluffy unicorn Dancing on Rainbow song. So that is the pre-order for that ends this Sunday, the 19th. So if you want to order it, you need to go to pandiasjewels.com and order, do the pre-order. We'll keep this giveaway open until we record episode 236. So go check out the thread in the Ravelry group to enter. All right, today we are going to review, let me take a little sip of water. We are going to review Filament number 2. This is the spring 2017 issue. We reviewed the very first one. Anne and Kathleen are the brilliant designers of this. And so they kindly sent us an ebook copy of it. So here is the cover, which is just stunning. Look at those mitts. So they said in this that they wanted to focus on all things bright, light, and springy. This is a season-spanning collection of items from lightweight sweaters to versatile shawls. They took their inspiration from the freshly blooming plants of spring, the color palette of soft pinks, blues, golds, and greens. Think English cottage gardens. Hello, yes. All right, so let's talk about, well, I love this. They have like a drawing that shows all of the patterns and the page numbers and just the basic little details about them. So the first pattern we have, and this is set up a lot like Pom Pom Quarterly is, with like the beauty shots and a basic description at the front of the book, and then after that all the patterns. So first up is Constance, which is a seamless bottom-up cardigan with an eyelet pattern and ribbon detail. I am in love with this. Can you see that ribbon detail right there? And also at the end of the sleeves. I don't think you can see that, but holy crap, that is gorgeous. I want it like right now. What do you think? Yeah. Okay, the next pattern is actually a two items. It's the Floralia, and it's a fingerless mitts and cowl pattern worked with
Floralia.
you know, she always has to correct my because I never pronounce things right. It's a lace pattern. They're pretty. I mean, it's a pretty basic kind of design, but I love that it is matching with the cowl and the fingerless mitts. So that would be a nice one to put together. The next pattern is that an F?
Looks like an F.
Yes, it is an F. So Fortuny. It's an end-to-end rectangular stole with a lace pattern.
I think it looks cozy.
It does look really, really cozy. And it's just styled so beautifully. And then we have a pair of toe-up socks called Gather Ye Rosebuds. It's lovely. It is, and it's just springtime and just beautiful, beautiful. This one is called Loosh. It's a seamless bottom-up surplice cardigan, which confused me at first because I was like, that I wouldn't normally put surplice as a description like that, but then we looked it up in the dictionary and everything, and it made total sense. I think later in the book it shows it being worn open. I'll try to show you that if I come to it. Next up we have Naiad, which is a bottom-up half-pie shawl with lace and Irish knots, and it is stunning. Stunning.
Is it knit and lace weight?
I am not 100% sure. Yes, it is. Well, that's what the name of the yarn is. I think this would be really nice for like a wedding shawl or some kind of fancy event. Where you tend to wear like the sleeveless dresses and then it gets cool in the evening and you just wrap it around you. I think it's really pretty. I like this next one, but I probably would not knit it, but I like it. This is a Rosarium. It's a seamless top-down pullover with color work. I love the color combination together. I really, really, really love how this looks. It's just a bit too short for me, which I guess I could modify and make it longer. But I love the neck of it and the crop sleeves. It's really pretty.
Wait, those sleeves aren't cropped.
Yeah, they're not long. They're not the full length.
But that's weird because that one looks like it's bunched up and it's almost to her wrist.
It looks cropped to me because there's nothing else that could push it down further there. Because this shoulder is lower, so that could be why it's bunching.
Oh, okay.
This is what we're talking about. Can you see the difference there? This final pattern, OMG, I'm so in love with it. And it doesn't hurt that the word pink is in the name. This is the Whistler Pink. It's a seamless short sleeve pullover with waist shaping and removable flowers that like button on, and they're so adorable. Oh my gosh, I love this one so much. Okay, so let's just see here. Okay, I love the sizing because they have a broad amount of sizing. I'm trying to see there. That's what I want to show you.
You can zoom in.
There we go. This is on the Constance. How gorgeous is that ribbon detail on the wrist? Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with that. What else did I want to show you back here? Oh, there it is, that worn open. This is the Loosh, and this is it worn open, which then when we looked up the definition of surplus, it made sense why they used it there.
You're not zoomed out all the way.
Oops, there we go. Let's see what they say here about the sleeves. It doesn't say, but it looks like to me that they're a little bit cropped. Yeah. So 8 lovely patterns. And then we have a page that's the abbreviations and then also a photo table of contents of the patterns. And there's the back cover. I think it's a lovely, lovely magazine.
You don't have to scroll back to the top.
Well, I was trying to see. I was going to look at the picture thing again. That's what I was trying to get to. That. Very well done. A wide range of styles. And it does totally remind me of spring. What do you think?
I love it.
I think it's fabulous.
Very springy.
Yep. So kudos to Anne and Kathleen for another great issue of Filament. They have so generously given us an ebook copy to give to one of you. So what we want you to do is to go to their Instagram, which is Knit Filament, KNITFILAMENT. It's linked in the show notes and in the giveaway thread. Follow them if you don't already. Find your favorite pattern from filament number 2 that they've posted about, because they've been posting about all the different patterns. And then come to the giveaway thread in the Ravelry group and tell us which pattern is your favorite. And this thread will be open until we record episode 236. Thank you so much, Anne and Kathleen. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, us, for all these lovely reviews and giveaways. All right, let's move on to the next segment. We made it to the end.
Yay.
I'm sorry that I got really gravelly there towards the end, but like I said, I'm not feeling 100% today. So I don't think we have any announcements other than our normal stuff. We'd like to say thank you so much. We love you guys. To everyone who supports the podcast, whether it's financially or by commenting in our Ravelry group or on YouTube, leaving reviews on iTunes, sharing this with your friends, watching every week. We just appreciate you, and we're so grateful for our knitting community, which has been made even more evident after spending the few days at EYF and meeting so many of y'all. So thank you so much. We love you guys. If you would like to support the podcast financially, the main way you can do that is our Patreon is on Patreon, which is a platform where you pledge a certain amount per month to your favorite creatives and you earn rewards based on it. If you'd like to know more about that or sign up, you can go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit. We also have a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website, geekygirlsknit.com, if you'd like to make a one-time donation.
And we're also Amazon.com and .co.uk affiliates. If you click through our website before you shop on Amazon, Amazon then gives us a little money based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to help support the podcast while doing what you're doing, buying what you would be buying anyway. That money is primarily used for shipping, which is a very high thing right now, because we've had so many prices to send out recently. So, Dammy, what is our website and where can they find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. With that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Make sure you check out all the links in the show notes, because we want to encourage you to support people that are making our knitting community even better. So make sure and check out everything that we've linked. Make sure and come enter all the giveaways, because there's lots of them right now. Keep working on your spring projects and your socks for the Love of Socks Cal. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Happy knitting. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Did you hear that little bird tweeting?
Yes, I saw a little tiny bird when I went out.
Oh,
It was hopping around.
it's spring. It's spring. Spring has sprung.
And I saw a bee. It tried to get me. They always do.
Is it like the dog that came running at me yesterday?
Oh, and I saw 2 cute little fluffy dogs with big ears.
Are they fluffy like my unicorn?
Yes.